Yes, my people, welcome back to the channel. Very good afternoon to you all out there, wherever you are. Listen, it is the D-Day, the day of the final. It is everywhere. Guys, what are your expectations in this afternoon's game? 4 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Nottingham Forest, Chelsea. What are your expectations? Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to have our preview. Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. Oh yes, for me, I believe that Chelsea will be through to the next level of the Champions League. It is my belief. And that is why I'm here to point out to you, what do we need to do? Right now, Chelsea just need to go into the game in confidence. But will confidence alone get the job done? I don't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, now, the reality of the matter is that Chelsea must not finish 7th. Chelsea must not finish 7th in this league, in this season. No. Otherwise, we'll be joining Strasbourg in the Conference League. It is what it is. That is where we have gotten to right now. And if we join Strasbourg in the Conference League, one of those two teams will have to drop. Otherwise, we will have to hand over one to a private entity to manage. Means that we cannot have any deal whatsoever with Strasbourg in the upcoming season. We cannot give them players on loan. We cannot buy from them. We cannot have any business deals with Strasbourg in the coming season, even if we hand them over to a private entity for the year. Yes. Imagine pausing our businesses, our transactions, and our involvement with Strasbourg because of the Conference League. Because of Conference League, that the prize money is not worth the sale of one player. We might be able to sell to Strasbourg, maybe £10 million player. Conference League winning, amount is not up to £10 million. But we can sell one player to Strasbourg and make £10 million. So just imagine, we pausing our businesses and involvement with Strasbourg because of the Conference League. That will suck badly. Guys, now, before I go into the preview proper, I want to remind you that we are in the transfer market, and it is after today's game that the road will actually be clear on which players Chelsea are going to be signing. And the good news I have for you is that the Saudis have not yet finalized the deal with Victor Osimhen. So don't give up yet on Victor Osimhen to Chelsea. It is still possible. Like I have here, Chelsea are considering a striker and are competing for Liam Delap, Benjamin Sesko, Victor Osimhen, and Joao Pedro. They are all still options for Chelsea. Options in attacking midfield include Alejandro Garnacho, Morgan Rogers, and Jamie Bino Gittens, which of course I would prefer than Garnacho. The budget will be boosted by a top 5 finish this afternoon. Chelsea's budget about which player to secure will be boosted by a top 5 finish, because playing the Conference League once again will not make sense to invest more in the squad. And most players who want to take £20,000 a week, you don't buy set players to play in Conference League for the entire season. It is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's get to the preview proper. On your screen currently, that is the league table. From 1st to 10 on the league table. Liverpool topping the league. They won the league almost about a month ago. Followed by Arsenal with 71 points. Man City, 3rd position with 70 points. Is it? Man City with 68 points. Arsenal 71 points. Man City with 68 points. 4th is Newcastle, 66. Chelsea, 5th, 66 points. Means that Newcastle and Chelsea are on the same point tally. Aston Villa, 66 points. So these three teams, they are all 66 points. Nottingham Forest are 7th with 65 points. Ladies and gentlemen, all these 7 teams are all in contention for Champions League football. Liverpool and Arsenal, they seem to be safe. They are very safe. What about Man City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Aston Villa, and Nottingham Forest? They are playing tonight for Champions League spot. Man City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Aston Villa, and Nottingham Forest are all playing this afternoon for a spot in the Champions League. Yes, these 4 teams of 5, these 4 teams, none of them is safe right now. Go into this afternoon's game. But the most important one for you and I is Nottingham Forest, Chelsea in their home. Chelsea are going away. What do Chelsea need to do to qualify for Champions League? I'll break down for you right now. That is why I'm here. It's our preview. What must Chelsea do in order to qualify for the Champions League this afternoon? Ahead of the final round of fixtures in the Premier League, we are taking a look at the permutations. You know, those of you who play Lotto in Africa, Lotto. There's something they call pen. Yes, I want to give you the permutations, pen. How Chelsea can arrive in Champions League football next season. Yes, the permutations required for Chelsea to finish in the top 5 and secure Champions League football for next season. A single match is what remains, and only Liverpool and Arsenal are guaranteed to be playing in Europe's elite competition in 2025-2026 season. Along with Europa League winners Tottenham, who are 17th on the league table. Just imagine. 17th on the league table team. Why? Chelsea should have just taken this. We didn't qualify for Europa League last season. We were 6th and we played in Conference League. It is what it is. It is what it is. The remaining places will go to 3 of Manchester City, Newcastle, and Chelsea. Yes. Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, Man City, Aston Villa, and Nottingham Forest. They are all in contention. It is all to play for today. Today is a D-Day. Everything must be given by each of these teams. And here is the table standings as I showed you going into the match this afternoon. Now, all the games in the Premier League will be played concurrently. All will start at the same time, will all end at the same time. But there are some games that are more relevant in the league, and those are the games of the top 5. People that are fighting for the top 5 to be in the Champions League next season. Fulham will take on Manchester City at home this afternoon. Newcastle will take on Everton at home this afternoon. Manchester United will take on Aston Villa. Remember, we are coming live 1 hour to the game. Watch along. Yes, we have to watch along today. So wherever you are, you're watching the game, remember to follow us right here on this channel. Watch along. Remember that. Before the game kickstart, we will be here to continue our analysis. So I'm taking it again. Fulham will host Manchester City. Newcastle hosts Everton. Nottingham Forest hosts Chelsea. Manchester United hosts Aston Villa. How can Chelsea qualify for the Champions League in the game? Looking at all these players. Home. For Fulham at home. Newcastle at home. Nottingham Forest at home. Manchester United at home. And listen, guys, how can Chelsea qualify or get the 5th position that we needed? Beating Nottingham Forest will all but guarantee Champions League football. Beating Nottingham Forest will guarantee Chelsea's Champions League football next season. So if at the end of 90 minutes, Chelsea comes out victorious, we are in the Champions League next season. If we do that, the only way we wouldn't finish in the top 5 is if Newcastle, Manchester City, and Aston Villa wins. And Villa's victory over Man United is by 11 goals, which is not possible. Unless Aston Villa beats Manchester United more than 11 goals, then only Chelsea will miss out. Is it possible that Aston Villa can beat Manchester United 12 goals, 13 goals? So unless Aston Villa beats United more than 11 goals, then only, even if Chelsea wins the game against Nottingham Forest, we will still not be there. And then goals and more than ours over Forest. Yes, that will be a Premier League record victory in any case. Or, I'm giving you the permutations. Unless Aston Villa beats United over 11 goals, or we play a draw with Nottingham Forest. That is, Chelsea playing a draw with Nottingham Forest, and either Aston Villa win at United or Newcastle lose to Everton. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. Do you want to hear a final scenario? How can Chelsea get into the Champions League position? Ladies and gentlemen, the final scenario is, unless all the 3 teams lose. Chelsea losing to Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa losing to Manchester United, and Newcastle losing to Everton by 3 more goals than we lose to Forest. Unless these teams lose more than 3 goals, that means that unless Manchester United beats Aston Villa 4-5 goals, yes, and Everton beats Newcastle 4-5 goals, and Chelsea lose. If Chelsea lose, then only we will miss out. I hope you are getting the point. These are the permutations for tonight or this afternoon's game. What is the easiest route? Win. The easiest route for Chelsea is to win against Nottingham Forest in their home. But hey, it is easier to say than done. Another option is that Chelsea play draw and Manchester United help us by beating Aston Villa, or Everton help us by beating Newcastle. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. It is what it is. What about the other teams? Quickly. There are several complicated and unlikely permutations that could decide the other team's fate. But the headline requirement for each of the contenders is as follows. Manchester City and Newcastle are guaranteed to finish in the top 5 if they win on today. A draw for Man City is also highly likely to be enough for them. If Aston Villa beat United and better Chelsea's results, they will finish in the top 5. Then Nottingham Forest have to beat Chelsea and hope Aston Villa do not win if they are to finish in the top 5. Nottingham Forest have to beat Chelsea, and they must also hope that Aston Villa do not win if they are to finish in the top 5. So Nottingham Forest beating Chelsea, they will also have to rely on Aston Villa to help them. Even if Villa loses, a draw will not be enough for Forest. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. It is what it is. What else do you want to know? Tonight's game, Chelsea's predicted lineup, before I let you guys go, this afternoon. I will expect Robert Sanchez to be in the goalpost, as usual. Robert Sanchez in the goalpost. Trevor Chalobah and Levi Colwill, center of the defense. I would have used Tosin, but let me go with Trevor Chalobah and Levi Colwill, center backs. And like I said during the week, I would prefer to start with Reece James, right back. On a left back, I'll use usually, as always, Michael Krella. And hey guys, what is balance when we needed to fight all out? I'll play both Caicedo and Caicedo play the DM. Caicedo playing the DM. How many are those players there? 4 back, 1, that's 5. Goalkeeper 6. We have how many more to go? 4 more to go, yes. Cole Palmer number 10. Cole Palmer playing the number 10 role. Yeah. Jadon Sancho will take the left flank. Noni Madueke right. And I'll go for Pedro Neto as my false 9. Pedro Neto as false 9. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my predicted lineup. Score line, I will expect Chelsea to win by 2-1. Chelsea 2. I mean Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea 2. I'll see you guys doing a watch along. 1 hour to the game, I'll be right here. Shalom and peace.